Hey, what is up, guys? This is it. Today we're starting the bag install on the Mustang. What I'm first going to do is I'm going to plan out how I'm going to set up everything in the trunk for now. I'm not doing like a crazy super clean trunk setup. I just need it to be like functional for now because we're moving really soon, so I don't have time to actually, do something cool. So I just need it to be functional, and I'll just take I don't know, some piece of wood or something and bolt everything down onto it and put that in the trunk for now. So yeah, so this is the tank. Pretty simple. This port right here will go to the airline. I've put some fittings on it. On that side, this is where the compressor is going to bolt onto, and this is the pressure switch. This is just plugged off, and on the bottom there's a little valve release thing for now, so I can empty out the tank if ever water forms inside of it. And this is what we have here: compressor, 2-valve manifold system, wiring harness, and this is the wireless control box, and that's a relay. So I'll have to wire that all up onto the card, Jesus Christ, onto the piece of wood that I have laying there. And yeah, it's my first time ever doing a DIY air suspension setup. I mean, it's kind of scary, but I think we'll be able to do it. So this is how it looks like right now. It's pretty basic, just a piece of wood, compressor, tank, manifold, wireless controller, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll go ahead and put everything where it's supposed to be, plug the wires, and now the challenge is to wire the relay and extend the wires to go through the battery and the fuse box. I have everything grounded. Got 2 grounds here and 2 other more behind that panel. And there's basically only 2 power wire that go from the front engine bay to the back. One for the compressor and pressure switch relay, and another one for the controller. So I'll show you guys how I've done it. So I've basically removed the side paneling here, and I fished the wires through a grommet that goes right next to the front fender. So with that, the cables are able to come out this way, and that's where the battery goes, and that's the power module fuse box thingy, fuse box. Anyway, yeah. So it's been a day now. I ran into some wiring issues. You know, I'm not the best at wiring. I don't really do wiring that much, but I got that figured out, and now the bag is taking air, so that's pretty good. We'll be ready to move on the actual bag install on the car, and I'll show you the bag right now. So basically, this is one of the rear bags. It is full of air right now, and I'm going to deflate it. Yeah. Now, as you can see, it's all mushy. Air out. Now that everything is working as it should be, I'm going to tuck away most of the wires, and we'll start on installing the bags. Day number 3. The back end of the car is now done. I got it done last night, and yeah, today we're gonna do the fronts. I wanted to do the back first because it was more like, it was simpler than doing the fronts. The fronts, you know, I have to remove the brake caliper and everything. So yeah, I'm also going to show you how like what's the process into converting the coilover into a bag. It's pretty simple. I'll show you the steps, and yeah, let's get into it. So here's the coilover. We're gonna start by removing the spring and everything up top. So we're gonna undo this bolt. We're going to remove the top hat and the swivel spring mount. Then you can remove the spring. So now the next step is to remove the rings. Pretty simple, just turn them all the way up. And you're not gonna remove all of them. Obviously you have to keep the bottom one to lock the strut mount in place. And the middle one, you can remove it or keep it. That's pretty much up to you. But since the bag is going to be threaded in, that can be used as a like security feature, so the bag doesn't, you know, unthread itself, or I don't know. But yeah, you can either remove it or keep it. I'm gonna keep it. So the kit comes with everything you'll need, fittings and gaskets and everything. So the little gasket here, you'll have to put it onto the shock, the top part of the shock. I'm going to put some Vaseline around there, just a little bit, so that the gasket doesn't dry up or anything of that matter. So now we can put the bag onto the shock. So it goes right there. Make sure that the shock goes through here. Yep. And you're gonna want to push it down like that. And after that, you're going to want to thread it all the way so that it stops threading in. Now we can start the rebuild process. So at that point, some people, depending on their type of coilovers, they can just put the top hat back on it and it'll work perfectly. But the thing is, the Raceland coilover, you know, the part that slips over the rod is hammered into the spring part top, the spring top mount thing. So what you have to do is to hammer it out. So what I'm going to do is place that somewhere, and you basically, well, I have to basically hammer this inner part out so that the whole thing comes out. All right, the piece is out, so we can put that to the side. We're gonna have to reuse this, but there's one extra step we have to take. We have to actually grind this down. Basically, this spacer, this is going to space the bag from the top plate. Basically, we have to grind this down, so we just keep the top like the two halves. I'm going to put this into a vise and use the angle grinder. So that's how it's going to look. And once that's done, just put that onto the bag, then the top hat back on, and your thread, your bolt, I mean your nut, whatever. Just reassemble the strut with the bag, and then you'll be able to install it on the car. So I'm about to finish the fronts. This is driver's side. The passenger side is already done. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward install. It's just like installing coilovers, but there's a bag instead of the spring. So here it is, guys, completely aired out. I've pretty much finished everything. The interior is back in the car. All of the hoses, the lines, they are inside of the side panels, underneath the rear seats, to the tank, everything. And yeah, man, it's crazy. It's really, really low. Don't know if you can see that, but that's like maybe a finger and a half. Really love the fitment. I'm gonna go get a shower because I'm really dirty, and I'm gonna go for a ride just to make sure everything is working as it should be. But man, it's crazy. So guys, thank you for watching the video, and I want to thank C2B Suspension for making such a great product. It's crazy that you can easily just swap out the spring and put a bag on pretty much any coilover. It's really cool. It's a great alternative to, you know, Airlift and RIP IQ Air and the other air suspension companies. But yeah, drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the new one.